Hi, it's Nell, and today I'm going to be doing a fun and easy project. It is replanting my money tree, aka PACHIRA aquatica, and there's one important thing to know about it, and that is the mix to use for this plant. So stick around for that. So yes, I am wearing my slippers because it's cold today here in Tucson. It's February 7th, I think, and I think it's like 57 degrees. It's cool, so I got my slippers on. But now on to the money tree. This is rumored to bring good luck and good fortune into our homes. Yeah, there are a few other plants that go by money tree, money plant, so who knows, but because it is readily sold, we're going to go with it and we're going to say, okay, it does. And in its native environments, this tree gets to be like 50 to 60 feet tall. It's also called Malabar chestnut and French peanut. It has a few other common names. It doesn't go by money tree. It was something that this is a marketing thing, like, the lucky bamboo is not called, lucky bamboo in its native environment either. But this is the important thing to know. It grows in its native environments. It grows by streams and swamps. So it likes that really rich sort of if you think of the soil on the side of a stream or a swamp, it's got a lot of good stuff into it. It's very can be sandy. It needs to drain well. It's rich, and that is what is important to know. Oh, and I forgot to mention my two new hanging succulents. I just have them here because a money tree is so small. I thought it would look nice to see the variegated elephant's food. I'm going to put that where my spider plant is, and this one I just had to get the Othana. This is ruby necklace, blooms almost all year long, and it has these beautiful red stems. So that's going to go somewhere. So this plant is very popular in the world of Feng Shui, and you can see that there's a red ribbon tied on it. I bought it that way because in the Chinese culture, red also brings good luck and I believe happiness too. So you will often find them tied with that. And I've had this for about 6 months now. I want to grow it here in Tucson for another 6 months, and then I will do a care video on it for you. So I just wanted to show you how low the mix is in the pot there. And the pot is small, obviously, and you can see it's taped at the bottom. That is what the growers do to start to braid it, to get all those stems to stay together. And the reason that I'm replanting this now and not into March, more closer to spring, is because it fell over. So I need to repot it, and our days are, nice and, sunny. So here we go. You can see that this came from or I'm not quite sure if you can see it or not, but it came from the growers planted in straight peat moss. And you'll see different people using different blends with this plant. As I said, straight peat moss. I've seen half succulent mix, half horticultural sand, potting soil, horticultural sand, perlite. The pumice chips are fine, just as long as it's really rich and it drains really well. As I said, those are the two most important things. And also, it is very important to have drain holes in the grow pot or the pot you happen to be planting it into. And as usual, there is a blog post to go along with this video, which you can look at if you choose to after the video is over. Of course, it'll have more details in there. And also after I repot this, I am going to tell you a few things that are good to know about the whole repotting schmealio dealio. And I just happen to have this grow pot. Something else was planted in it, so gave it a quick rinse out, and I'm going to use it, but you can see there's a lot of drain holes in it, and that is just what this plant wants. Okay, so here are the ingredients. On the left is a brick. I'm going to hydrate it. It is coconut husk. It's got chips and fiber in it. And then in the middle is organic compost. It's local compost made here in Tucson. The Pro Coco is made in Tucson too. And then I've got charcoal because I use charcoal for quite a few of my indoor projects. And what it does, it not only aids the drainage, but it sweetens up the soil. And here's the Pro Coco mix. I broke off about half the block and I wet it. It says to use it wet or dry. I always wet it first because it's so dry. But now it's like a nice mix to use. And the money tree is going to love it. Okay. So I have my glasses on so I can see. Or see better, I should say. And I'm going to put a coffee filter over all these drain holes so the mix will stay in. There we go. Otherwise, it's just going to flow rubber. All this light stuff just going to flow right out. And the majority of the mix that I'm going to use is the Pro Coco mix. So I'm just going to get some of that in there. Get it all nice and placed in. Then I'm just going to go and put in some of the charcoal. Oops. And the reason why I'm not doing this at my work table, stay up there, is because it's too sunny over there and I have a crafting video to do this afternoon, which is going to take up a lot of time. So I thought I would just do it because it was a simple, small repotting project. So let's just see how much of a mess I can't make. So I have it out of the pot. It came out very easily. I just gave it a squeeze, and this is usually the size you find the money tree in, the smaller pot sizes I've found. So we're going to get it anchored on in here. And the tallest I've seen this plant as an indoor plant is about 4 to 5 feet. So, oops, there we go. You're going to stand up. Thank you, baby. I wasn't sure because the root ball was a little small on it, but it's standing up. Okay, so I got that in. Oh, and the reason why I use this rather than, the peat moss is because it's much more ecological. It just comes from the husks of the cocoa palm, so it is a better option in my book anyway. I'm going to put a little more charcoal toward the top and then some compost. And then I will top it off with the cocoa fiber because it's going to sink down a little bit. Oops. Oh my goodness. You know what? I really like to make a mess. And then I can just scatter the, oops, and I'm going to straighten it out a little bit too. There we go. I'm just going to top it off with this, the Pro Coco, and I'll be right back with you. And the one thing I forgot to show you with the short repotting process I did is that I pressed this mix down to get the plant to stand up straight because the root ball was small, as you saw. And that's just fine because, the mix is so light, it's not going to hurt the roots if you press it down a bit. Okay, there we go. All done. It took longer to haul everything over from the garage than it actually did to do this project. So It is not a hard one at all. Just pay attention to the mix you use. Okay, so now I'm going to go up close and personal with this plant and tell you a few things that are good to know. Okay, so first off is the time to replant it. Spring is the best into early summer, but spring is actually optimum. I just did it, as I said, because it fell over. And I'm not that far away from spring here. It's close, so. Also, too, because this plant is actually a tree, it doesn't mind being repotted every 2 years or even 3 years. It likes it on a regular basis because, of course, the roots will grow as the plant grows. And the type of pot you plant it into doesn't matter. I just happen to use a grow pot. What is important is that you go up a pot size or two. If you go up too large on the pot, it's going to look funny in proportion to the plant. So mine was in a 4-inch pot. It could have been a 3 to 4 inch pot. It looked pretty small. And now it is in a 6-inch grow pot. Okay, next, the pot should have at least one drain hole. It does need to have a drainage. So just make sure it has at least one hole in it. As you can see, mine had quite a few. And that is going to make this plant very happy. And this is the mix that I prefer to use for this plant, as I told you some variations on it. So whatever variation you use of this mix goes hand in hand with what I just said before. Make sure it drains well. And the last thing is that this plant is used in the world of bonsai a lot. And what they will do is they will take the plant out of the special container. They will shave the root ball a little bit, and then they'll put it back in that same container just to stimulate some new root growth. So if you have a very special container and your plant is growing, you can shave the root ball by about 1/8 to 1/4. I think is about the amount they do it. But I usually don't. I don't actually, because I will always go up a pot size. All right, so now that the repotting is done, it's time to take it in the house. I'm going to water it really thoroughly until the water drains out of the bottom. Even though the mix is moist, I want to make sure the whole thing is nice and wet. And then I am going to put it into my utility room that has a big skylight in it, so it gets nice bright light all day long. So I hope you have found this video to be helpful about repotting or transplanting, whatever you prefer to call it, a money tree. It's a great plant to have, and I'm going to see how it does here in Tucson. It can be a tough, it's a little bit of a tough climate on some houseplants, some of the tropical houseplants, but I will let you know. And let's see. Oh, yes, I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. I have a lot more videos coming your way. Actually, I wish I had more time to do more videos, but oh well. But let's get into our indoor gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. As always, I thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.